DR fam, how's everybody doing? Hope everybody had a great day. Apologies for no video yesterday. I was visiting a friend of mine in the hospital after work and got home kind of late and just really, it just didn't, the market wasn't that important to me last night or yesterday, I'll say it that way. So anyway, but hope you guys had a good day yesterday as well. Today, was actually a really, really good DR day. We'll spend just a few minutes talking about it. As usual, let's go with our range. So we had a range, let's say 43.14 up to 43.31, 32-ish. So, about 10 points maybe, 13 to 30. Oh no, that's 20 something. Okay, so we're good. All right. We can't do math today. All right. So, yeah, 32-ish down to 13. No, that's about 10, 14. That's 14 points. Never mind. What am I looking at? Anyway, yeah, 13 to 14 to 15. I'm not going to count them out, but you guys could see what it is. All right. So now here's the setup this morning for DR. Boom, down, and then back up. So that V shape. So I really don't take too much into account. Again, we did have some moves, more than move was down this way, but again, we ended up going this way, so that's kind of hard to take that too seriously. Again, up here, we looked at when we came out of DR, we were right around the zero point 0.5 fib, and we started to move down. Really nice candle down here to give us our confirmation low. All right, so we did that, and then we came back up. We had like another extra candle that went down some more. And, again, if you're chasing, then if you get in down here, you're in trouble, right? Because that's not going to help you. But, that's not our rule, not our plan, right? So we wait for the retrace back this way and then price to go above one of our ladder steps. Now here, our ladders, our DR low and IDR low are literally, a quarter point apart from each other, looks like. So, we wait for it to go above that. And then we can look for, put an order on the price to come back down, right? So standard business, nothing that we have to, we're not doing the accelerator advanced programs today. We're just kind of doing the basics. So here we go, right? We retrace here. I put my order in here. Now, one thing I did, I know I had to trade in the morning because I had back-to-back meetings all afternoon. No, I won't be able to watch the market, but so I was like, okay, I'm going to put my order on here. And I almost did like what I call the set and forget it one, where I'm like, okay, I was busy in the morning as well. So I was like, okay, I put my order in, put my stop loss in, and then, I set this one for like 10 points because what I saw was right here, right? So if I look at that, then I was like, okay, wait a minute. So if we went down here to come back up, good chance we're going to come back down here, especially since we confirmed low, okay? So original stop loss here was 10 points, right? My normal stop loss is 5, which would have been around here. But I was like, let me be a little more aggressive on that part of it today, because I didn't see a reason for us to go back up. But so we did that, and then let me shrink this down some so we can kind of see what happened. So, so we got picked up here, okay, coming back down, went down a couple points, we moved back up. Again, not touching, anywhere close to my stop loss. So again, I'm just letting it play itself out. And then we had this monster move here that came down and just kept going down. And so we got here, we got close to here, and I was like, well, shoot, I'm going to see if I can move my stop loss down some, or my take profit down some. So I moved that down to about 20 points, right? So it got in right around 43.14. So I'm looking for 43.94, which is, right around here, okay? And so didn't know all this was going to happen at the time. I just put my order in the way I normally would. So I moved it down to 20 points and, the prices kept coming down. Here I got a little bit, I almost pressed the button to get out the trade. But what I end up doing, because, you see how we had like a little bit of consolidation here. And let me back up 2 steps, right? So why was I so confident about this move right here? If you notice here, we have, from the ICT land, we have a bearish fair value gap, right? That means price wants to go that way. So that's why I was I say price didn't necessarily want to go up anymore because it was in this fair value gap. It poked above it like a couple points, a couple of ticks, but never, it went right back down, right? So that's why when I say I was confident that it didn't want to go back up, because that fair value gap was right there, and it was, being a blocker for price. So I had that confluence of not only the fair value gap, but then also, price going, retracing above the IDR. Okay, so that's where that came from. Just want to make sure we pointed that out. So anyway, so we're in the trade, and got here, and it got a little bit. I was like, it might start to turn around. Should I take my profit off? But at this point, if I look at what 10 points is, that was 43.14. So it's really close. And I was like, I'm just going to let it play out. I said, worst case is going to happen. And at this point, you guys know how I do it. What I had done at this point was I had moved my my stop loss down 5 points into profit. So at worst case, I'm going to get 5 points out of this trade. Okay. Best case, I'm going to get more than 10. Right. So again, that's just how you handle your risk tolerance. I'm not, I know a lot of people do this, is they'll set their stop loss and they'll let price, do whatever it wants to do until it gets to that stop loss. So I shouldn't have went that high, right? But you get what I'm saying. I just don't do that. When I get to certain milestones, I'll go ahead and move my stop loss, to kind of, it's called the Hurricane 5 move, right? Because that's, well, my group called me that because that move is moving your stop loss into profit to protect your profits. Okay. So anyway, so that didn't happen. So once we got down here, 20 points in, I didn't move it down anymore. Now, could I have? Yes. Right. But, again, right now we're talking about lunchtime, and I knew at 1 o'clock my meeting started, and then so I didn't want to, just didn't have time to really do that. If I would have left it in, like you see what happens, price went back up a little bit. Actually went right back up to about 10 points, or 10 points from where I got in. All right, but went back up right around there, but then it kind of just, came back down again. So that's actually another, let's see, 84, that's another 10 points that would have been down here. So that could have been, if I was having time to watch it, that would have been a nice 30-point trade. And who doesn't love a 30-point trade? Okay. So anyway, so that was my day basically. Then about 3:30, 3:45, one of the groups I'm in, I got somebody who messaged me. It was like, "Oh, where are you?" Because I should have took this trade at IDR high. And when I looked, I'm like, "Oh, I see what happened." Right. So, and you guys can see what happened here. Right. So if you look at after 2 o'clock, price had this. Sorry, let me get the thing. Price had this massive move back up, but look where it went to. Okay. And this is what we talk about, right? Remember, we already confirmed low, okay? So we want price is supposed to go this way. But look what happens up here. It goes all the way back up, gets all the way up to right in between IDR high and DR high, right? Poked above there. It never got to DR high, which is okay, right? Remember, because what's our rule for this? This is what we call our retirement setup, all right? Retirement setup says I can't go to opposite side and close above the DR, okay? Right? So that will make it a false day. But anything like, when it pokes up and then comes back down and closes down here, that's all gravy. That's great. That's still true. All right. Okay. So that's the difference, right? So, but even here we went above the IDR high, never got to DR high. So how do you play this? Okay. You basically put a order once it goes above. You put your order on IDR, in this case on IDR high, okay? Stop loss right above DR high, okay? Why am I doing that? Because if price continues to or decides it wants to move back up that way, then I have a minimal risk, okay? I'm losing maybe a point, maybe point and a half on that, but my risk is minimal. My reward could be great, okay? So you saw here we went up from let's say that's 43.29. And it just fell all the way down to 43. What's that? 43.04. So what's that? 15, 25, whatever that is. It's a big number. All right. I can't do math today, guys. Don't ask me why. I just can't do math today. So 25, 15, 05. So that's 20. That's 20 points. So 25 points, it would have moved down. Okay. So that would have been a great trade. Now it's after 3 o'clock. So that would have been a little bit interesting to watch. But again, you can see it went up here and it just came back down. Then after that, of course, it decided to move back up. Now, how do you get out of that trade? Like, what will be my like area to get out? Right here. Can you see it? Green box, extended out. Bullish. Fair value gap. All right. What's supposed to happen on the bullish fair value gap? Price is going to want to move back up this way. So if I'm coming down this way, I get into this gap, and it starts to dilly-dally in here, I'm out. All right, because I already know I know you guys can't see it, but, if price gets in here, right, price gets into the gap, into the fair value gap, and it starts to, let me figure out, nope, I'm out, all right? So that's how I would have, gotten out of that trade. Now, you could have always just said, okay, give me 20 points or 10 points or whatever your number is there, but that's kind of my, that's the zone where I'm like, okay, let's just cut it. All right. So it's confluence, over here, a bearish fair value gap with confluence. Over here, it's an indicator that it's time for me to, take my leave if I'm in that trade. All right. But that's how I would have played that one. You could play it differently. You could look for some other stuff, but to me, that just makes sense. All right. But that's it for today, guys. That's the, that's kind of what happened. Just a really nice DR day if you were patient enough. If you missed, you had a lot of time over here in the morning. We had for this trade, you had from 11 o'clock to probably 11. So you had like 45 minutes to get into this trade over here if you didn't get in there right at the beginning. So can't be much nicer than that. And then here, of course, again, you're taking the chance of the fair value gap. The retirement setup right above the IDR high. So hopefully you guys got some of that, and it was a good day for you. Don't make this complicated, folks. It's not. All right. One or two things going to happen. You put your order in, give yourself 5-point stop loss. Right. Give yourself 5-point take profit, 10-point take profit. One or two things going to happen. You're going to hit your stop loss. You're going to hit your take profit. Okay. And sometimes, it may go down 3 points or 4 points. So you're like, let me get out. That's cool too. But give it a chance to work. One of my things that I always had an issue with was giving my trades opportunity to work. So I would put in a small stop loss and I get stopped out, and then it makes the move I want to move, what I wanted to make. So now I do 5 points, and I say either I'm going to win or I'm going to lose, and let's keep it moving. All right. Anyway, hey, as we always say, love on your loved ones. You never know when you won't be able to do it again, so take advantage of the opportunity. I felt that last night. Again, a good friend of mine, and he's going to be okay. We hope, but just tough seeing him in that situation. I've been in that situation, not with his exact situation, but I've been, in the hospital for a few weeks at a time, and I understand it. So I don't take any of that for granted. So you don't do it either. All right. God bless you. Good night, and we will see you tomorrow. We'll see what happens. All right. God bless.